Blessed ones of the nations of the world. One more time, this is your brother Dan Moses of Say, your Sakodi of TRC, Ghana. Coming to you this Lord's Day, the Lord's Day, Saturday, the 23rd of September 2023, with a continuation of our expose, Testimony, New World Disorder. You have received expose part 270. This is going to be 271, what to do. And I know you are beginning to say to yourself, oh, how evil has the worshippers of the extremely dangerous US undercover agent been to my family, my father's family, and my mother's family. Due to their worship of the extremely dangerous US undercover agent. Yes, diplomatic, political, and religious evil forces. They have been more than evil to my families in Ghana. And I know you are beginning to say, how evil has some of my own family members been to. How could this evil be pursued behind me? Get me killed, and I still live to tell the story of Christ my Lord. Answer. Family, we tell Ghana and the nations of the world that Daniel Osun Onyame Ohuntehunu Nidine de Onyankopon twini edu amponkwame Yahweh. You didn't hear it well. Ghana, I'm saying that there is nothing that is hidden from the eyes of God. That is why there is nothing hidden that is not being known now to you. Because there's some Onyame Ohuntebu. His name is Onyankopon Twini Edu Ampon Kwame Yahweh. There is nothing unknown to him. Akwaba to the program, Testimony, New World Disorder, and Akwaba to What to Do, Expose Part 271. You say my families in Ghana, some of them are evil. Is that what you're saying? No, they are not. They are flesh and blood, just like yourself and I. It is the Spirit of the Lord and the grace of God that keep us. Except for that, Satan would have succeeded in destroying me, destroying my two tortured and abducted children and my nation Ghana in worship of one extremely dangerous US undercover agent. When we were receiving the expose 270, we heard the name Satan, Nana Addo. You are asking that who is he? Ghana and the nations of the world, heads of the nations of the world. He is the same person that this very week stood at the United Nations and was making a fool of the African people, Europe, and the nations of the world. upon all his terrorism against humanity and the nations of the world. He's diverting our attention at the United Nations General Assembly. United Nations, on the 20th of September 2023, God moved ahead of the treachery of Nana Addo Akufo by God coming to the United Nations. You have the documents. United Nations, International Criminal Court, 8, African Union, you have it. Dampare and the government of Nana Addo, you have the document, 20th of September 2023. What to do? What to do? What to do in the face of this global cowardly secret terrorism, medical, and the terrorism against the souls of humanity, the woeful destruction of the human race and the nations of the world. What do we do? What to do is to know and understand that there is nothing that these diplomatic traitors that have taken over the United Nations, these traitors and the destroyers of America that are taking over the White House, these tribalists and traitors that have taken over the throne of Ghana, the public sector, the private sector, every institution, they are taking over. There is nothing that they do that is not known to God. In fact, when they are plotting their evils and the covering up of the killing of Ghanaians, diplomats, politicians, religious leaders, when they are doing that, God is there in their midst, watching them. But they know not, and they think that God is dead. So let's read from Genesis chapter 4, verse 8. We are moving away from Psalm 118, verse 9 to 12. We shall get back next week, and God shall shock Dampare, the crime covering Dampare, bribe taking Dampare, ITP of Ghana. God shall let them know that he's not a man. We shall get back to Psalm 118, verse 9 to 12. That you can use the parliament of Ghana to fool the Ghanaian people and humanity. Dampare, get ready. God shall come to you. For now, we are in Genesis chapter 4, verse 8 downwards. I read. This is about two brothers. The first brothers that ever lived. One killed the other. Let's read. And Cain talked with Abel, his brother. And it came to pass, when they were in the field, that Cain rose up against Abel, his brother, and slew him. He killed him. And the Lord said unto Cain, when Cain killed Abel, nobody was around. So he thought that God was not alive, and God didn't know that he had slain his own brother. And Cain, we are going back to 8. We start again. And Cain talked with Abel his brother, and it came to pass, when they were in the field, that Cain rose up against Abel his brother, and slew him, and killed him, and murdered him, and crucified him, and destroyed his life, and shed his blood. You can use all these in this day. And the Lord said unto Cain, where is thy brother? Where is thy brother Abel? Cain, I'm asking, where is thy brother? And he, Cain, said, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper? And he said, and he, God, said, what hast thou done? Cain, what hast thou done? Your mother Eve was not around when you shed the blood of your brother Abel. Your father Adam was not around when you shed the blood of your brother Abel in secrecy. But I, God, I was there with you, Cain, and I know what you have done. And the Lord said unto Cain, where is Abel thy brother? And he said, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper? And he, God, said, what hast thou done? Meaning God knew that he had killed his brother. Oh, the church didn't know about it. The mosque didn't know about it. The synagogue didn't know about it. The worshippers didn't know about it. That an innocent man in the mosque has been slain. A Jew has been killed by Joe Biden and his administration due to his hatred for me. The mosque didn't, the synagogue didn't know about this. The mosque didn't know that for years, Joe Biden and his administration, supported by Nana Addo Akufo, the greatest terrorist of the world, Mahamudu Bawumia and the traitors were colluding with global evil forces. This was not being done by Israel or Palestine. No, they never did that. And they were colluding with diplomatic traitors, Ban Ki-moon and his cronies. And they were killing innocent Muslims. And the mosque didn't know about this. But didn't God know about that? And the same diplomatic evil forces colluded and killed Reverend Dr. David Nabemado in the house of God. And the Church of God, Ghana, did not know the truth about it. But didn't God, the God of the church, know the truth about the shedding of the blood of Reverend Dr. David Nabemado? God knew. Therefore God said, and God said unto Cain, where is thy brother? And he said, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper? And he, God, said, what hast thou done? Meaning God knew. The voice of thy brother, the voice of thy brother's blood, the voice of thy brother's blood, meaning blood has voice, crieth unto me from the ground. And now, 11, and now art thou cursed. You are cursed from the earth, which hath opened her mouth. The earth has opened her mouth. When Jesus was crucified, the earth opened her mouth. Dead bodies came alive, and they walked in the street openly. The earth has a mouth, and the earth hath opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood at thy hand. We say God is not just, and God know not. God knows. Ghana and the nations of the world. Akwa to the program, testimony, new world disorder. In the year 2017, 2019, Nana Addo Akufo and his administration, wicked forces in America, and diplomatic traitors within the United Nations in worship of the extremely dangerous US undercover agent. Decided to hijack the nation Ghana, take over the entire institution, Ghana Police Service, private institution, ECG, Ghana Water Company, every institution, take over the church captive to further their agenda of covering up the 17 years of the cowardly secret killing of the Ghanaian people. Eventually, the evils of the killing, the covering up of the killing of my people of Ghana was overwhelming the United Nations. It was overwhelming the US government. It was overwhelming the government of Nana Addo Akufo. So they chose a diversionary tactic by these diplomatic traitors, political evil forces of Ghana. Destroyers of America. They colluded and they killed Dr. Busumuru Kofi Annan in secrecy in Bern, Switzerland, to divert the attention of humanity from their heinous evils that they were pursuing in Ghana, 2017-2019. And diplomats say that God knew not what they have done at the expense of the life of the greatest diplomat ever, whom they call Kofi Annan as the United Nations, and the United Nations as being Kofi Annan. They have worshipped this extremely dangerous US undercover agent, and they have cut short the life of Kofi Annan. That was the 18th of August 2018. In the month of November 2018, I flew to the US for 1 week, called on the United Nations for an inquest, probe, investigation to the killing of Kofi Annan. The United Nations, the US government, the US justice, they all colluded to silence me the more by plotting to enter the house of God with the government of Nana Addo Akufo, and they killed my Reverend Dr. David Nabemado with stakes within the church, enemies in the church, traitors in the church, enemies of Reverend Dr. David Nabemado. I'm talking about Pastor Ofolu. I'm talking about Mr. Boateng and your cronies of the Assemblies of God Church Committee 4. You gave the man out. You plotted with the enemies of the church, and you killed Reverend Dr. David Nabemado. And you said God know not what you have done. This is what God is saying. Diplomats, you are in the same diplomatic vineyard, just like Abel was in the same vineyard with Cain, and Cain killed Abel. You are in the same field of diplomacy. You are politicians, you are in the same political field, political vineyard, doing the political work. And you shed the blood of His Excellency John Evans Fifi Atamils, the blood of Pakwesi Emisa Atta, my Major Bahama, my Kaba, my Ebony, my uncountable number of Ghanaians. And they say you don't know what you have done. Okay. And on the 4th of September, on the 3rd of September 2011, Dampare the traitor used the new terrorist of Adakope Dowegi whom they were using to operate a secret terror cell in the residence of Emmanuel Ayiku Ekwoku, my former landlord. They have raised die-hard terrorists in Adankopi, Dawenya. No law of Ghana applied to them. And on the 3rd of September 2023, they killed a Ghanaian and burnt him to ashes with the Dawenya police station and the Ghana police headquarters having their own new terrorists engaging in the killing and the burning of the Ghanaian against everything that is called law. And the next day, they send their terrorists to come threaten to kill me as well. And they say God know not it. Dampare, you say God doesn't know. The new terrorists that you are running, the new terrorists that Addo Akufo is running in Adankopi Dawenya, the new terrorists that Joe Biden is running in Adankopi Dawenya for years since 2019. You say God knows not, and you come and get me killed and burn me. This is what the Lord is saying. And now art thou cursed from the earth, which hath opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand. Assemblies of God Church. No preacher, no pastor, whether you are called Pastor Ofo or Mr. Boatin or whoever, can fool the church of God, can fool Christ Jesus the Lord. You have shed the blood of Reverend Dr. David Nabemado, cowardly in secrecy. And you put the face of his family member on the evil. And now you know what you are saying to yourself. It is not the church, not that the church could not protect Reverend Dr. David Nabemado. Reverend Dr. David Nabemado could not protect himself. Jesus Christ, the God of the Bible, could not protect him. And therefore, Reverend Dr. David Nabemado died. Is this your argument? God's argument to Pastor Ofori of the Assemblies of the Tema Community 4. God's argument to Mr. Boatin and all traitors within the church who have shed the blood of Reverend Dr. David Nabemado through his family member with the government of Nana Addo in your political interest. And you are saying that you blame the dead for killing him. God is saying that the blood of Christ Jesus, the blood of Reverend Dr. David Nabemado, they are all demanding accountability and justice, and the evil shall not be concealed. Alright? Because God was there when Reverend Dr. David Nabemado was killed due to hatred for me in worship of this extremely dangerous US undercover agent. His name is Onyankopon Twini Edu Ampon Kwame Yahweh. Onyame Ohuntehuni. He never dies. He is my God. I call him Christ Jesus. The Muslims call him Anabi Isa. The Judeans call him Yeshua Amashiach. The church call him Christ Jesus. He is the one that I bring to the nations of the world. I bring to Dawenya Adankopi against the new terrorism that is being perpetrated, against the terrorism that is being perpetrated by the state against Adankopi and Dawenya. God bless you. May God bless my home and Ghana. United Kingdom, this is just the beginning. You shall understand better why God took me back to America. Just be still. The daughter of Daniel is in your midst. God brought her there for a reason. God bless you. And God bless my families in Ghana. The family of Nana Daniel Opoku Eje. The family of Nana Edibofo Jan. Daniel never dies because Onyankopon Twini Edu Ampon Kwame Yahweh never dies. God bless you all. I love you with the love of the Lord. Au revoir. See you. Shall we shall meet again. God be with you.